So we just got off the seaplane about 30 minutes ago. The pilot was a lovely man. The views were incredible. It's about 40-ish minutes out to the island from Hubble, and really just a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Like, I really wouldn't have it any other way. The people who take the ferry out to the island, I think, are missing something by doing that. But anyways, we're about probably like 15 minutes into the trail that I was aiming for. We're definitely out of the whole Wendigo Visitor Center area, making our way down. First stop on my trek is the Island Mine campsite. We'll see how I feel when I get there. If I'm feeling extra peppy and we still got enough daylight out, I might just head straight to the Siskiwit Bay campsite, but unlikely. I think I want to just take it nice and slow, enjoy the time, give myself enough time to, slowly set up camp, use the bathroom, repack, whatever I got to do. But it is gorgeous out here. I looked at the weather ahead of time. It says it might rain one of the days I'm out here, but the rest of the time should be a nice 50s at night, high 60s during the day. It's been a little cloudy, but right now I'm in a pocket of sunshine, feeling good. I was very nervous about packing all my stuff. I tend to be an anxious person in that regard, but we're out here. We're about 2.5 miles in, feeling phenomenal. I stopped once to readjust the pack, but it's feeling good. On this trip, I'm trying a lot of new things for the first time, which is exciting. One of the things I did is I'm somebody who has been very prone to bugs on the trails. I don't know what it is about that, but they seem to really like me. Lots of mosquito bites, and I usually use like some 30% DEET product, but that doesn't seem to stop them. I get bites, mosquitoes, horse flies, black flies, anything that wants to bite me will bite me. So before I went on this trip, I treated my clothes and my gear with permethrin. And let me tell you, at least for right now, I don't know whether I'm just not in a super buggy area, but they're leaving me alone. I don't have any bites. I am wearing pants and long sleeves, and I'll probably be doing that for the remainder of the backpacking trip. Definitely saves me from some stuff, and a lot of the trail is overgrown, so there's a lot of brush near my ankles, and that's a recipe for ticks. But yeah, we'll see when I set up the tent. That's also treated with permethrin. My bag's treated with permethrin. It seems to be working, so if you've never used it before, give it a shot. And I also switched from DEET to, picaridin, something like that. 20% picaridin. Supposedly, it works just as effectively as DEET. But the thing with DEET that I learned, unfortunately, it tends to react with anything like plastic synthetic. So it'll start melting some of your gear, poking holes and stuff. That's a no-go. So we switched to that. So we should be nice and bug-free on this trip. Still beautiful out. I'm under the shade of the trees right now. When the sun pokes out every now and again, I can feel the heat, but we're keeping cool. Still no signs of moose or wolves. Biggest animal I saw so far was a little baby squirrel running up a tree. Took a picture of him. I'll throw it up right here. He was real cute. All right, onwards and upwards. All right, so after about 7.5 miles, we made it to the Island Mine campsite. I'm staying in one of the individual sites. Got the tent all set up, sitting on this log. There's a couple people here. Gonna go cook some dinner. It's about It's about to be 7 p.m. We still probably have like an hour and a half until it starts getting too dark to really do anything, and I'm probably gonna go to bed because I'm pretty tired. But a good start to all this. Tomorrow is going to be a lot shorter, a little like 4 or 5 miles to the Siskiwit Bay campsite. So gonna treat that as like a sort of lazy day, because the next stretch is about 10 miles until we get to the Feldman Lake campsite. So exciting. Day 1. Right. So we've packed up camp, eaten a little breakfast. We are on our way to our second stop, Siskiwit Bay. From Island Mine campsite, looks to be almost all downhill from here. Nice, easy 4 or 5 miles or so. So let's take it slow. Let's enjoy the day, and we'll have plenty of time when we get to the next campsite to set up, make some dinner, maybe call it an early night. We'll see. We're about 2 miles in now. Just wanted to stop and record. So part of the new gear setup that I'm giving a shot is this head net. And let me tell you, it's a lifesaver. I'm hiking near some still water right now. So there's a ton of mosquitoes, a ton of little flies. They're trying to get up my face. I use bug spray pretty much everywhere else except for my face. So this is definitely coming in handy. But also, look at this trail. I use trail in quotes because, a lot of the vegetation that I'm walking through, and I'm saying walking through, is, up to my chest. So, very thankful that I used a little bit of permethrin on my clothing and all that. Would you look at this? Wow. How beautiful. Love a good running water. It always raises my spirits when I walk past running water. Can wash off my poles a little bit. We were going through some thick mud there. They said that there might be muddy trails, especially after rain. Let me tell you, there's been no rain and the trail is, up to my ankles muddy. So pretty. Let's go. Another piece of new gear that I've been using, trekking poles. Let me tell you, I don't know whether I've psyched myself into it. I don't know whether I'm just whether it's actually taking some of the load off my knees or helping me with my balance, but it definitely gives your brain something to do, like something physical to do while you're hiking. And especially when you're solo, that can be super helpful. You get into a rhythm of just moving your feet, moving your poles, moving your feet, moving your poles, just keep on pushing. Having something with your hands to do is huge. All right, anyways, we should be passing by Siskiwit Bay soon. Looked like from the map that I saw way back when, there was a little bit of a beach, and then the campground's a little ways further than that. So I think we'll take a stop at the beach, maybe take a dip in the water, try and wash off the sweat a little bit, and enjoy the nice weather. All right, until next time. It's about 3 p.m. now, so we've got plenty of time to kind of do whatever we want. I'm right on the shore, as you can see. That's the water down there. There's a dock that heads out there with a couple of picnic tables. I think I'm going to take my pack out there, maybe cook a little late lunch, and then maybe go for a swim. Hopefully dry out my boots a little bit. Kind of made a interesting decision. The trail sort of goes off the beach inland a lot to go around and cross over the big Siskiwit River, but I didn't feel like doing that. So I just went right across the open part of the beach where the river sort of dumps in. And yeah, I mean, I got wet. I thought it was going to be a lot more shallow than it was, so I got probably knee deep in water. And so water just flooded in. I got my socks drying here. I'm just going to throw my boots on and walk out there and then leave them out on the dock in the sun. Hopefully that's okay. This water is freezing, and it's probably a dumb idea, but when I see a body of water, I gotta go in. So I'm going in. Now I'm at an individual site, feeling pretty good. Very shaded, which is good because it takes forever to get dark around here, apparently, as I experienced last night. So hopefully I can actually get to sleep at a reasonable time. Don't have to wait till like midnight for it to be dark enough to sleep. But yeah, I'm feeling great. Had a ramen for lunch, had a beef stroganoff for dinner. The stove is working great. The whole setup's working great so far. Have some notes, but you know, that was to be expected. Testing a lot of things for the first time here. Anyway, check it. Great tent, great spot, spacious, kind of secluded. Feeling pretty good. So see y'all in the morning. Tomorrow's the big one. Tomorrow's almost 10, 11 miles to get to Feldman Lake. So that's going to be our big push of the trip. Let's go! All right. So I packed up camp and started walking out to grab my bear vault. And I heard some thunder, so I'll put it on record right now and say that this might be a dumb idea. But we're out here, and I've got the rain cover on my pack, and there you go. Now it's raining. We should have lots of tree cover, so I'm not super worried about it. The trail might be a little slippery and muddy, but that's something we can deal with. And I'm trying to get to Feldman Lake, man. So, you know, looking at the clouds, I think I'm walking away from where the storm is heading. So, you know, I'm hoping it blows over pretty quickly. Wow, this is so, look at all the flowers. That's such a pretty trail. Anyways, I think that I can brave the storm just okay. And we'll make it fine. All right, I'll be the first to say it. This was a dumb idea. But my core is staying warm and dry. So I think I'm good on heat. My pants are getting pretty soaked, and I think I feel my feet getting a little wet, but these are all things we can manage with. I think the goal here is to understand that the rain will stop at some point. Being wet is a temporary thing. The beauty of when it stops raining is things dry. And if it rains today, hopefully that means it won't rain again. But, you know, we'll see about all those assumptions. The big thing here is I'm feeling weirdly good. I like the colder weather. That's a nice touch. The rain is kind of refreshing in a weird way. I'm sure I'll get sick of it, but the tree cover also provides a pretty good amount of protection. The problem is all these plants that are about chest height right now get soaked, and then they just pass off all that water onto my clothing, which kind of sucks, but we ball. It's what do you call it? Type 2 kind of fun, you know? It's difficult in the moment, maybe a little fun, but afterwards I'm gonna look back when I'm all dry and cozy in my tent and think to myself, you know what? I'm glad I pushed through. This is what I meant, by the way, when I said that the brush was taller than I was sometimes. Right now, the phone is about where my head is. So, you know, that's the trail, if you can see it. And we got some of these plants and these flowers sticking up higher than I am. So I'm really like, I'm just pushing through. You know, throughout this trip, I've been trying to be a little more introspective, you know. Spending time alone, I feel like it's bound to happen. And one of the theories I'm brewing up is that every big thing that happens in your life that might make you nervous or scared has this like perfect analog that you can draw from nature. Like when I was hiking through, I was really anxious about coming on this specific trek, and I really debated going back to shelter a couple times and just trying to wait out the storm. But as I started hiking, I started getting more and more wet, and I realized that it really wasn't that bad. And I think the lesson that I was taking away is, as I'm going, it's like, I'm gonna get wet. And if I turn around now and go back to shelter or try and set up camp, then I might avoid getting wet, or as wet as I might be right now, but then I won't be where I want to be. And if you're okay not being where you want to be for a little bit, trying to just wait out this storm, if this isn't a storm that you want to deal with, then that's okay. But this is a storm that I want to deal with. I'm going to push through. I'm fully soaked right now, and I'm still okay. And the beauty of it all is that when things get wet, they also get dry, you know? It's also just a matter of time. And I would rather be drying off where I want to be than staying dry back where I came from, you know? What? I didn't know there was like a watchtower here.